I'm not a huge fan of the Who, but they are kind of on my radar, so I wanted to make a quick video applauding them for, without doubt, out Spinal tapping the upcoming Spinal Tap film. So, let's take a look at what happened. A couple of weeks ago, they fired their drummer for playing too much. Now, let me break this down. They fired the guy who's replaced probably the busiest drummer who ever lived, Keith Moon. And there's a place they have the legendary Zak Starkey, who was probably the only dude capable of sitting on Keith's drum stool, and they fire him for basically being too much like Keith Moon. What the fuck? And a couple of weeks later, they hire him back. Apparently, it's all a misunderstanding. I've heard a few people say there were some technical issues with the sound on the gig that he was fired for, so possibly giving the Who the extreme benefit of the doubt, they misunderstood it, thought the problems were with Zak, fired him, then found out the problems weren't with Zak, got him back again. And anyway, 2 weeks later, he leaves again. By what I've read, they try to spin it as he left on his own accord, but Zak, fair play to him, went nuclear on an Instagram and said, "No, this is a lie. They fired me, but asked me to pretend it's my own decision." This is like a fucking episode of The Thick of It, and I know Zak may be lying, but he seems a decent guy, and I kind of believe him. So, the only possible excuse and justification for this is they found out that Keith Moon faked his own death, and he's gonna join them on stage for the final tour. Now, even if this is possible, which it ain't, he hasn't played with the Who for almost 50 years, so if it's a case of 80-year-old Keith who hasn't played with the Who for half a century, or 58-year-old Zak who's been playing with the Who for 29 years, who's a complete badass drummer, I'm going with Zak. So, this is just tragic. A tragic end to a band who should have split up 20 odd years ago when the legendary John Entwistle died. Watch Pete Shame on you.